Today I want to talk to you about the spirit of scouting and taking it into the community. Hey everyone, Danny 3 here from BrightIdeasScouting.com. It's another Scouting in the Park. This is Scouting in the Park 74. And it all started on a cold Saturday morning in Wisconsin. You see, we were going to a merit badge clinic, and my middle son was going to be taking the ice skating merit badge as one of the two merit badges he was going to be working on that day. So, applying the scouting principle of thrifty and knowing that my son was only going to be skating for a few hours, I opted not to buy him any skates. Instead, I went to Facebook and asked a bunch of friends, hey, who has a pair of size 9s that my son could borrow for just a few hours as he decides to take up ice skating at a merit badge clinic? And a coworker offered to loan me his for the day. So, you know, he brought him in on Friday, and we used them on Saturday. And then on Monday, we returned them back to him, as a good scout does, and said thank you. He had a lot of fun, and he was really happy that he could share those skates with us. Now, flashback about a month ago, out of the blue, he comes up to me, my coworker, in here, and just simply says, "Hey, Doug, does your son want those skates that he borrowed back in January?" I said, "Well, he's interested in stuff, just trying to flush out like how much are these going to cost me and stuff." And he's like, "Good. I was cleaning out my garage, and here you go. He can just have them. I'm not really skating much more, and these would be great for your son if I knew that he'd be able to use them." "Oh, absolutely, he'll use them." So I brought him home that night and dropped him off with my son, and he was just ecstatic because he had fun and he likes getting outdoors and stuff. And so he went immediately to our little thank you note area and grabbed a thank you note and wrote him up a quick couple sentence thank you note, just thanking him for giving him the skates. And so I said, yeah, next day I'll hand that off to him. So when he came into work, I dropped it off to him, gave him that, and it was great, and he was really overwhelmed by that. So, you know, what interesting that stuck me was he was really impressed, and I just thought nothing of it. It's a thank you. And so, but what got me more was a week later, he told me about he was out driving, and a friend of his was in the car and saw the thank you, or saw a note up in his car, and he decided to just open it up and see, and he's like, "Oh, that's a thank you that I got from a coworker's kid at work. I keep it here in the car to remind me just of all the good stuff that goes on." And so you never know how just that little bit of kindness is going to help in what's going on. This guy is not a scout and stuff, but just my son writing that thank you really had an impact on him, and keeps it in his car as a reminder of just the good deeds of people around him and stuff. And so for that, I want to encourage you to take that bit of kindness and apply it in your pack. So if you're a committee chair this next week, and I don't want you to wait till the end of the year, because at the end of the year, to me, it's kind of expected. Now is when it's not expected. So what I want you to do is over the next week, if you are a committee chair, I want you to write a handwritten thank you to every one of your committee members, regardless of what their position is, even if they just show up and they don't even have a committee chair position, but they show up at their meetings and they're diligent. I want you to write a handwritten thank you, and I want you to hand them out at your next committee meeting. If you're a den leader, I want you to write a handwritten thank you to each of the parents that are in your den, just thanking them for coming, because there's so many demands on a parent right now, as you know, that they could be doing soccer or football, or they could just be sitting at home letting their kids play video games rather than coming to the meetings. And we want to make them appreciated. And if you're a Cub Master, I want you to write a handwritten thank you to all of your den leaders, assistant den leaders, and den chiefs. those Boy Scouts. Just a handwritten letter. And these aren't much. I mean, they could be 2-3 sentences max, but it's the thought that counts. And so we want to take that spirit of scouting, spirit of thankfulness, and we want to spread it out into the community, because you never know the rippling effects that it's going to have. So that's your assignment for this week. But until then, until tomorrow, learn everything you can, share everything you know, live the Scout Oath and Scout Law, and we'll see you tomorrow in the park. But if you'd like to get more information about what we do, go to Brite, that's B-R-I-T-E, BriteIdeasScouting.com/park074. It's going to give you the show notes here. And on that sidebar, just sign up for the newsletter. We can keep you in touch. We're also on Facebook. Like us on Facebook. On Twitter, we are at Bright Idea and stuff. We'd like to connect with all of you. We are crossing almost 2,000 people to each one of these podcasts. So that's awesomely amazing, from all over the world and stuff like that. So we will see you tomorrow in the park.